Yo, what's good, gang? It's the Dope Guy, and I am back with another video, big dog. Yo, hope you guys are all doing well out there because I'm doing alright. And here I am spending a block with content for y'all, man, on my soul. Hey, yo, today's video, we got 13 things you need to know before going to Germany. Shout out to Felicia from Germany. Much love, respect to her, man. Make sure you go subscribe to the channel, support her first and foremost. Yo, shout out to all my people in Germany. I've been learning a lot about the country, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The food is probably my favorite. I ain't gonna hold you. The food be looking too fire. The bratwurst, the sausages, all that good stuff. The schnitzel, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all. The laws is crazy. I have my own opinion about that. I said it in the other video, and some of y'all let me have it. But hey, it is what it is. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. And yeah, man, just about to learn about the 13 things I need to know if I ever was to go to Germany. I got a passport, so if I'm ever going to Germany, I can check out this video and know what I need to know. But I cannot wait to get into this video. But before we do that, subscribe to the Dope Guy, that way to get notifications every time I upload. And from right here on Snapchat and Instagram, right across the bottom screen. So with that being said, I'm not gonna hold y'all much longer because y'all already know this. Go, big dog. Let's get into it. Yes, sir.
You want to go to Germany? Here are some things you need to know before you go from a German native.
Okay. Let's get it.
Hello, servus, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Felicia. I'm originally from Munich, Germany, but have been living in Cincinnati, Ohio, off and on since 2016. Now, traveling isn't really a thing right now, but I know that many of you can't wait until that's going to be possible again. And I know that many of you are planning future trips in your heads. And for all of you who've always wanted to visit Germany, or even move to Germany, I'm sharing some things that you should definitely know before you go. These are things that I usually tell friends who go to Germany for the first time, but I'm sure that many of you guys could benefit from this as well.
Okay, the currency, I figured that.
The first one sounds pretty obvious, but believe me, people forget about this all the time.
How?
Different countries have different outlets and voltages. So if you're from the US, you'll need to bring or buy an adapter if you want to use your electrical devices, because your American plugs won't fit into a German outlet.
Damn.
We also have a voltage of 220, 230 volt in Germany, whereas it's only 120 in the US. And not all electronic devices can handle the switch, so be sure that you do some research about that before you go. Especially hair dryers and hair straighteners usually don't work with a different voltage.
Damn.
I actually broke a hair straightener once because I tried using my German one in the US and that just made it stop working.
Damn.
What does work usually though is laptops and phone chargers and those kind of things. And even though I am obviously aware that the outlets are different, I totally forgot about it this past Christmas when I went home to be with my family, because I got a new laptop recently in the US that came with an American charger, and I totally forgot that for the first time ever I would need an adapter that goes from American plug to German plug and not the other way around. But luckily my dad has a bunch of travel adapters and
shout out to him.
Actually fit. Then of course we also use a different currency in Germany. It's the euro, just like in many other countries in the European Union. And at least compared to the US, we also use a different measurement system, the metric system with kilometers instead of miles, etc. Even though the US really is the odd one out here.
Okay, store hours.
The next point causes a pretty big shock for many people who visit Germany for the first time. Stores are closed on Sundays, even grocery stores. So make sure.
Now, some stores out here used to be closed on, not grocery stores. Grocery stores used to close on Sundays early, like around 5 p.m. Like 5 p.m. is when grocery stores normally be closing early. You know what I'm saying? Because it's Sunday. Others, like the store hours, sometimes they open longer to about 9, 10, sometimes even 11 o'clock. But on Sundays, some stores used to close at 5, 6 p.m. That's early.
Make sure to plan ahead.
Back in the day.
The only places you'll be able to find any groceries on a Sunday are stores at train stations and gas stations. This has a Christian background, but it also has to do with workers' rights. In Germany, we believe that everyone should be able to get a rest day on Sunday and spend time with their family. Restaurants, movie theaters, and those kind of things are usually open though. Even if you're only in Germany for a day, you should make sure to carry cash on you. Germany has a pretty big cash culture, and there might be quite a few occasions where you won't be able to pay electronically, like when you want to get something at a bakery, a kiosk, small stores that accept card payments, or things like parking machines. You can either get some cash from the ATM in Germany, but be aware that there will probably be an ATM fee and a currency conversion fee if your bank account isn't in euros, or you can also ask your bank at home to get some euros to you before you you leave. That might be the best option actually, because that way you'll also have some cash right when you arrive in case you need it. What you shouldn't do though is exchange money at the airport, because it'll be a lot more expensive. Now let's talk about what you need to know about driving in Germany, because there are a few differences that you should be aware of before you get behind the wheel. The first thing is that gas is a lot more expensive in Germany than it is in the US.
Yikes!
It's 3 times as expensive, so if you were going to rent a car and just drive around Germany or Europe, that's not going to be as cheap as you probably expected. In fact,
and we all know the gas out here. I remember I was in Oakland, California. Shout out to everybody in California. Love Cali. Gas at the time was damn near $9 a gallon. I'm like, yo, no wonder everybody out here driving Teslas. Everybody had a Tesla damn near in California. You probably need that, bro. Gas is crazy expensive. I can just imagine out there in Europe.
It'd be a lot cheaper to get around by bus or train. We have a pretty good train system all over Germany and over Europe too. And especially if you're just staying within one city in Germany, public transportation might be a more convenient and less stressful option for you too, because traffic can be a little crazy, the drivers can be aggressive, and parking in a German city is usually a nightmare. When you need to get gas, you should know that you pump first in Germany and then pay afterwards. And you don't usually pay at the pump, but you'll have to go inside afterwards to do so. The regular gas in Germany is called Super, but of course you can always look at what it says inside of the gas cap as to what kind you should put in the tank. Then of course there are different driving laws in Germany, so be sure to check those out before you get on the streets. 2 major things are that you can't turn right on red, and you always need to watch out for cyclists and pedestrians, especially when turning right. I found that that's not really something that people learn in driver's ed in the States, because in many American towns, people walking or riding their bike isn't really a thing. For everything else, like the street signs,
I mean, we got bike lanes out here,
speed limits, and driving on the highway, the Autobahn, you can check out my video on driving if you want to learn more. This one might be kind of shocking to Americans. In Germany, it's legal to drink alcohol in public, and Germans do that a lot too, especially in the summer. So don't be surprised by that, and who knows, maybe you're gonna try it too and get a cool experience out of it. You can just sit by the river on a warm summer night with a 50-cent beer from the corner store. And yes, beer is pretty cheap in Germany, but it's still very, very good. Now, if you visit Germany as a tourist, you're probably going to spend a lot of time at restaurants. So here's a few things that you should know about that. So when you walk into a restaurant, you can usually just seat yourself and don't have to wait for someone to show you to a table.
Oh, nice.
Then you won't get ice in your drinks unless you ask for it. But even then, it'll probably just be a couple of ice cubes. The sizes of drinks are also pretty small in comparison to the States, just like almost everything in Germany.
No free refills.
And water is not free at German restaurants. Water.
That's the part that gets me. Because out here, because I learned that in another video, water is not free. So if I want more water, I gotta pay for that. Out here, free refills of water, dog. And some restaurants is free refills of fountain drinks. But no free refills of water, bro. Gotta have my water, gotta have my H2O, dog. That's tough. That's tough.
You usually get bottled water, either still or sparkling, which Germans are huge fans of. Once you're done, you have to ask the waiter for the check. They won't bring it to you automatically, and you're probably going to have to flag them down because they're not going to check on you all the time. And then they'll usually have you pay right at the table, either with cash, or you can also pay with your card in most restaurants, but you'll have to let them know because they'll have to get the little device first. When it comes to tipping, we tip around 10% in Germany, and the way it works is that you just tell the waiter directly what you want to round it up to. So if your check is 20 euros and you want to tip them 2 euros, you just tell them to make it 22 and you'll get the change for that. It works the same way with card payments too, so make sure to tell them the tip before you insert your card. Also, just a heads up, the waiters in Germany might seem kind of cold compared to the ones in the US.
Yeah, I heard.
You'll have to flag them down if you need something, and they're probably not going to be as friendly, which has to do with the fact that they don't have to rely on tips as much, but also with the German customer service in general.
Right, okay. Yeah, I heard they rude. But
please don't let it scare you off, but the customer service in Germany is pretty bad compared to the US, at least in my opinion.
Right.
I know that many Germans are going to disagree with me in the comments, but if you're used to American standards, it's very likely that some of the people working in German customer service will make you feel like you're bothering them or annoying them.
Damn.
If that happens, please don't think that it has anything to do with you being a tourist or not speaking German. It's nothing personal. They treat me like that too. Of course, there's also many great people working in customer service who are lovely to talk to, but unfortunately that's not the standard in Germany.
What?
One of the most popular topics of complaints among tourists is that you have to pay to use the bathroom in Germany. Now, it's possible that that's going to be the case.
Now, I know in restaurants, like out here in Jimmy John's, I have to buy something or to use their facility. Some restaurants, you have to buy something to use their facility. They get a little passcode and receipt, and you type in that passcode in the door to go use the bathroom. That, in some restaurants, not all. But normally I can walk in, and if I got to use the bathroom, I ask, hey, can I use your bathroom? Where is it? And they tell me. Like during COVID, oh my gosh. A lot of restaurants didn't even have their bathrooms open. You know what I'm saying? Because of the whole social distancing. Damn, I haven't used that word in a while. Social distancing is crazy. But yeah, bro, like paying to pee is crazy work. That's diabolical.
At rest stops on the highway, you'll find these bathrooms with turnstiles, and at some public bathrooms there will be a person sitting with a tipping plate, but that's not always the case, and at restaurants it's usually free. But yes, sometimes you'll have to pay for using a public bathroom, so it's always best to carry some change on you, just in case.
Damn. Uh-oh, here we go.
Germans like rules, and they like to follow the rules, and that includes stopping at a red pedestrian light. So, no jaywalking in Germany, and by that I mean that you won't see a lot of Germans jaywalk, and many of them don't like it when others do it either. Which, by the way, applies to other rules too. You may even get reminded by strangers to follow the rules. Besides the whole...
See, out here, that's different, because out here, if you see someone crossing the street, who cares? Out here in the States, it's a mind your own business type thing. So if I'm out there in Germany and I'm jaywalking, ain't no cars coming, so I'm just happening to run across the street. People will legit probably get upset with you because you're not following the rules, bro. That'd be different for me because out here no one cares for real. No one cares. People, like I said, people mind their own business. If ain't no car coming, I'm just gonna run across the street. Hurry up across the street, man. Because everybody. The only thing about the city, man, especially in Chicago, everything is a fast pace. Everybody's on the go. So all the other stuff, like if we go into these other countries, we have to abide by the rules because we live in a fast-paced environment. And when you're out there, like Europe or Germany, anywhere in Europe, I don't care where you at, the rules are different, and you just have to just follow them, bro. You know what I'm saying? But people do. It's crazy that people will get upset with you for doing what you want to do, like especially like jaywalking, especially ain't no cars coming.
No jaywalking thing, some of these rules are to stay right on escalators to let people pass on the left. And, very, very important, don't walk or stand in bike lanes. Next to the sidewalk, there's usually a bike lane, and there are many, many cyclists in German cities. And if you block the bike lane, you may either cause an accident, or you'll probably have a person on their bike ring their bell at you, or even yell at you.
Right.
In case you happen to turn on the TV or want to go see a movie in Germany, don't be surprised if your favorite American actor suddenly speaks German, because almost everything is dubbed in Germany. We do consume a lot of American movies and shows in Germany, but Germans aren't big fans of subtitles. And even though more and more people do consume English media in their original version nowadays, the norm in Germany is the dubbed versions. Some movie theaters do show movies in the original versions too, though. You'll just have to look out for the little addition behind the title that says OV.
So basically, if I go to a movie, see Mission Impossible or something like that, it's gonna be dubbed in German because no English subtitles. Because sometimes the subtitles can distract you from the movie. You know what I mean? So I get it. I get that.
Many of you have probably heard the cliche that Germans are pretty reserved and rather cold, and there's actually a lot of truth to that. So before you go to Germany, you should definitely know that Germans don't usually talk to strangers a lot, and we aren't big on small talk. So don't expect to have some nice conversations with people at the store or something. It depends on who you interact with, of course, but at first sight, Germans can come off as unfriendly, especially when compared to Americans. It's nothing personal though, it's just a cultural difference. But if you ever have have a concrete question, don't hesitate to approach a German and ask them, because Germans are usually very glad to help. Now, how should I ask someone for advice if I don't speak German? Well, most Germans do know some English. They may have a thick accent and may not be able to have a full conversation, but they'll definitely be able to, give you directions or tell you the price of something. Many Germans also speak pretty good English, so those of you who come to Germany and do speak some German and want to use it, don't be thrown off if you speak to someone in German and they reply in English. It's a thing that many Germans do, and I know that it can come off as rude in a way, but they usually just want to make life easier for the two of you because they know that German is a difficult language, and if they think that their English is better than your German, they may think that they can make the conversation more efficient by switching to English.
Yeah.
So please don't be offended by that. If you really, really want to practice your German, I'm sure you can just ask them to stick with German. The last point on my list is mainly targeted at people who want to move to Germany. Now, when you move into a new place, be prepared that it might come entirely empty. And by that I mean that there won't even be blinds, curtains, or light bulbs in it.
Not even a stove.
And oftentimes not even a kitchen. So the space where the kitchen is supposed to be will just have a bunch of cables and pipes stick out of the wall, and you'll be responsible for getting all of the appliances and cabinets. Also, leases are usually unlimited in Germany, unless it's like a sublease or something. But in the US, I found that a lease usually has an end date, 1 year in a lot of cases, and then you can either renew it or end it. You won't have to do that in Germany. Also, when looking for a place, you should be aware that a bedroom can be really small in Germany, so you should always look at the size of the room or the apartment and not just the number of bedrooms, because a 3-bedroom apartment in Germany could be smaller than a 1-bedroom in the States. Also, bedrooms don't have closets in Germany, so you'll need a wardrobe or a dresser to put your clothes in, and there are many, many more differences regarding German and American houses, so if you're interested in that, you can just click here and check out my video about differences at home.
Okay.
So those were 13 things that I really think are important to know as someone going to Germany for the first time, especially the whole friendliness thing, because I know of several stories where an American thought the German cashier didn't like them because they didn't speak German, or where an old lady yelled at them for standing on the left side of the escalator, and they let that affect their experience in Germany, and I really don't want that to happen. If you have more tips, feel free to share them in the comments below.
Hey, shout out to Felicia from Germany. Much love, respect to her, man. Make sure you go subscribe to her channel. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the things that I need to know, hey, it's not bad. You know what I'm saying? Of course, the rules, I feel like it's always going to be a somewhat of a disagreement there. But if I'm ever in Germany, I'm going to follow the rules. I am going, because I'm not from there. I'm going to follow the rules. But I think paying to pee is probably absolutely diabolical for me. This is my opinion, you know what I'm saying? If I got to go, you know what I'm saying? Well, if I could, in a bush somewhere, I don't know. Out here, it's whatever. But to pay to pee is crazy. That's probably my only issue I have in this entire video, for real, is paying to pee. That's about it. But, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all my people in Germany. Much love, respect to y'all. Because if I gotta go really, really bad, man, yikes. Yikes. But yo, man, shout out to everybody in Germany. Much love, respect to y'all, man. Like I said, the things I needed to know are pretty simple. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, only thing I really disagree with is the rules. Like I said, we've already had conversation about the rules of how I feel about it, and some of y'all voice your opinion. I appreciate it. And paying to pee. That's the only thing I'm like, damn, bro. Like, come on, dog. But hey, it is what it is. But yo, shout out to Feli from Germany. Make sure you go subscribe to her channel and support her. And shout out to all y'all out there who be tapped in with the content. I appreciate y'all. Y'all already know the vibes. But yo, I hope you enjoyed the reaction to this video. If you enjoy my reaction, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the Dope Guy Big Dog. Hit the notification bell whenever I upload. Find right here on Snapchat and Instagram right across the bottom screen. Any other videos you may check out, please comment to this video, my other videos, and leave likes and comments on all my videos to help grow the channel, help the algorithm for sure. Any more videos you may check out, leave a comment in the comment section below. Now I got y'all. I'ma spin the block. But yeah, man, it's the Dope Guy, and I am out. Yes, sir. We gone.